Alright guys, so we got some parts for the Z28 project. Been working on this a little bit here and there the last few weeks and managed to get the headers kind of mocked up. You can see them there. Last night I ordered some new cables, new ignition cables. We're gonna change the valve covers actually. That's the part of this video. And I got some Taylor brand cable management products we're going to use to run the cables. Now this is an LT1 engine, guys, so it's got the distributor up under the front there. Had to get LT1 MSD universal cables in order to see right there, 1 2 3 4, and there's 4 on the other side, 1 2 3 4. Anyway, back to this. So got some new cables coming. They're going to be a little bit longer so we can custom route them, and I've got a couple things going on here. Number one, on the stock exhaust system, intake exhaust system, there's this Egr pipe, and what this does is it runs from there on the exhaust collector up to the back of the intake manifold. Right here, guys. And a lot of guys will block this off on this conversion or this install. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it on there. It requires some programming in the computer, and the system actually serves more than one purpose. It lowers the NOx by allowing some hot exhaust gas into the engine when it needs it. The computer decides the engine's got a bit of a knock, so it lets some of the hot exhaust spent air fuel mixture into the motor to bring it down. And it's a nice thing to have, guys. The computer's set up and programmed to run it. So what I'm going to do, I ended up buying some parts. We got our first parts delivery. I actually bought the block off kit. So this contains the pieces required to eliminate the Egr system off of an LT1 engine, and this is the cap that goes over top of the exhaust right there. What I'm going to do, I lost that one. What I'm going to do is we're actually going to drill a hole in this and make a mount for this that welds onto the side of the header exhaust collector. So I've only got one of them right now because the other one's at the welder's shop. He's having a look at it. But see these collectors right here that come off the header? Steel collector. What I'm going to do is punch 2 holes in the passenger side one. One hole is going to be for the Egr tube connection. So this connection right here, which is going to connect to that flange, which is going to go into the side of the collector, and then the second flange, actually bung, that we're going to install is for the O2 sensor. Right there, you can see it threaded in. So this car has 2 O2 sensors, one on each exhaust manifold, and I've actually got a weld-on bung that can weld to the collector on the header, so we can connect both the O2 sensor and the Egr pipe to the exhaust. This pipe's going to need to be lengthened a little bit. It's too short. So I found some gas pipe. I think this is aluminum. I'm not sure if that's stainless steel or aluminum, but I might be able to cut a piece of this because it's the similar diameter and it's threaded, and might be able to thread that over top of this, extending this about 3 inches to reach to the collector, because the collector's about down there. Anyway, so that's where we're at with the Egr setup to try and keep it on this LT1. But today I got some stuff delivered. I got some cable management products by Taylor Cable. Now these attach to your valve cover bolts and hold your ignition cables from burning and keeps them looking pretty. So I'm excited about that. But the real cool thing I wanted to show you guys was these valve covers I've got. Check these out. I've had these old girls since I got this car over 20 years ago. I've never seen another pair like them. They're aluminum. I'm not sure if they were a dealer option back in the day or if someone made them somewhere, but anyway, I thought, how cool would this old LT1 look with these vintage Camaro valve covers on it. Now, the stock valve covers, I believe after 88 with General Motors, have those center bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. This old school style has the bolts around the outside. So there's 4 of those. So what I went and did was I ordered some valve cover adapters. These apparently will adapt the 4-bolt style head, the 4-bolt down the center, to the 4 perimeter bolt style. And as well, when we do that, this spark plug cable management kit will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will bolt. I think it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll get to that part when it counts. What I'm going to do is tear this box open and pop one of these valve covers off and see if it fits. And my other thing was, I'm not sure how much room. We're pretty tight. We're pretty tight down in there, guys. This alternator might be in the way of the valve cover because it's going to stand a little tiny bit taller. Well, with the adapter underneath, we might end up having to get a different alternator, a little bit smaller, maybe a polished alternator for on there. But anyway, I'm gonna turn this back on in a sec when I got this stuff open and taken apart. So there's the goods, guys. Basically, we got our 88 and up valve cover, GM valve cover, which has the 4-bolt, 1, 2, 3, 4, down the center, taken off of here. And I bought these adapters which bolt onto your head using the center bolts, and then you take your old school valve cover with a gasket, of course, and you bolt that over top. So it raises the valve cover up a little bit, and I think that might be a problem with this alternator. We're going to find out shortly. But then you bolt the plate down underneath to the motor. There's a big bag of supplied hardware, and then you bolt the 4 perimeter bolts down to the plate. And then you can use your old school valve covers on your newer school engine. Kind of neat. So I'm going to try bolting that plate on. We'll see where this goes. So here's a quick look of it together. So we've got the adapter underneath and the valve cover on top, and you can see here that the alternator, the stock alternator, is too deep, and it's not going to fit where it's supposed to fit. This anchor bolt's supposed to be right here. So I went online, and this is a common problem, and the guys have a alternative alternator out of a different vehicle, Roadmaster I think it was, that is a little bit narrower this way, and I think it'll clear. Other guys have actually cut and modified the valve cover, so I'm not sure what route we're going to go, but we're into this now, so those are going to have to be installed. Just show you over here what it looks like with the stock valve cover off and the adapter plate on. So you can see it sits over top, and then it uses the 4 center mount bolts to bolt it down. Then you drop your other valve cover on top. So anyway, I just wanted to try today to see if that's gonna fit, and it's gonna work. It's just gonna require a little bit of fiddling around with. I think I'm gonna clean up the mess I've made here and start working on the clutch pedal next, guys. I need to get the cylinder. I guess this is the master cylinder right here, and the slave cylinder down on the side of the transmission needs to be bolted on. I didn't have the right hardware years ago when I put this in, so I'm going to take this long bolt out, change it, get the right couple bolts, but I'm actually going to make a rod to connect this to the clutch pedal inside the car. One thing at a time. Anyway, hit the subscribe button to see how this project turns out. I know it looks like a bit of a dog's breakfast right now, but I've pretty good hopes that this thing's going to be up and running in the new year. Thanks for watching.